Hi, Janette Freeman here, welcoming you to our video number 4 in the series on the I Am Discourses. And today I'd like us to just really look at this idea of standing in dominion. And I think this is one of the most important things we have to learn it's like reversing the flow of the river, right? In order to change a pattern of behavior, it takes some complete choice to change a pattern. So we've been automatically living from an ego identity and from a separate self-identity. And so in the I Am Discourse, it really talks about really standing and living from a divine identity. And that's how we live in life, like everyday life, like how we begin to retrain our words to use I am words, I am statements, change our languaging, begin to call forth the greater good in our lives instead of falling down. And last video we talked about the law of forgiveness and really clearing and clearing and clearing. And so today I'd like us to just look at this idea of standing in dominion and using practices to stand in dominion and to see truth, to see divine truth in the middle of illusion. So I'd like to share a little bit from the book. Again, this is from chapter 20, one of my favorite chapters. And he says this: I think here that I should explain to you the most important, the most desirable thing that anyone can do is fix within his or her mind the one permanent necessity, and that is to keep at it until one reaches so deeply and firmly into this mighty I Am presence that all love, light, good, and riches flow into his life and experience by an inner propelling power that no outer personalities may at any time, anywhere interfere with. So, I mean, that's great. It's like he's really talking about this most important thing is to keep at it. To keep at it until we're really anchored in this true identity. He says this is the object of true training. And isn't that true? Like whether you're training for sports or training for anything, the object of true training is to keep at it. And to keep at it, and to keep at it. He says this, he says, you can keep looking for problems and then every morning try to solve a new problem, but you'll be doing that forever. He says, to find your I Am presence and anchor to it is the only desirable thing to do. So it's like we can try to solve another problem, we're going to solve another problem, we're going to solve another problem, and our attention is always on solving problems. Guess what we get? More problems to solve. The only desirable thing, he says, is to anchor into the I Am presence. Begin to spiritualize our consciousness. Begin to live from a higher place, a higher identity. All right, let's continue on the text. All right. So he says how much better it is, he's talking about solving problems, how much better is it to enter in and set free the mighty presence, energy, and action which has already solved the problem before it appeared to you? Isn't this more acceptable than to wake every morning and find new problems coming up, staring you in the face? I love that. All right, and then here's what it says about what do you do about that. It says when critical or disturbing thoughts try to find entrance into your consciousness, slam the door quickly. Command them to be gone forever. Do not give them a chance nor time to gain a foothold, remembering always that you have the strength and sustaining power of the mighty I Am presence to do this. Should you have difficulty in holding the door shut, well, sometimes we do, right? Talk to your I Am presence and say, see here, I need your help. I love that. See here, I need help. See that the door of this disturbance is closed and kept closed forever. In other words, he says, I want you to understand you can talk to your I Am Presence. Talk to your I Am Presence in a way that works for you. I need help. I Am Presence. Shut the door on this disturbance now and bring forth your truth. The mighty I Am Presence is the only presence I am standing in. So I stand in this place. So we talk to this and we cause the mighty I Am Presence to handle these experiences so we can experience freedom and dominion. The I Am Presence is the only power acting here. As long as we have free will and as long as we live from the personality and from the ego and from the old conditionings, we will continue to get the same old thing. Ew. But when we begin to wake up to a knowledge that that there is the presence of power of God within us and it has to wait upon our call, then we begin to call it. And it doesn't matter if it takes a month or 6 months or 6 years or whatever. We begin to transform our consciousness by calling upon the I Am Presence and demanding that the I Am Presence take over. We do not do this alone. We stand in God dominion and we continue to put our attention on divine good, divine God, divine light, joy, peace, plenty, wisdom. And when we forget, listen to this again. I'll remind you. I'm Janette Freeman. I am that I am. Signing off. Cheers.